Well, hello everybody and welcome back to week 9 since I've started reclaiming my upstairs garden space that was formerly known as the Bear's Den Gardens, and I have to say, these AeroGardens are making it incredibly easy for me to, do just that and fill this place up with plants. It's been, week 9, so 63 days since I first put seeds into the first AeroGarden, and I am just blown away. I'll show you on the floor here the pepper starts that I've transplanted out. Did a couple more transplants, I don't know, yesterday, day before. It's all kind of one big blur of barn at this point. And we'll discuss briefly what I may be doing to that Bad Brains pepper chili pepper. What I may be doing to that Bad Brains chili pepper. Should have grabbed another coffee before I started this video too. Anyway, so before I screw up the English language too much further, let's get started looking at the plants. I think the first thing I really need to mention at this point is that I'm getting too old to be crawling around on the floor dealing with my plants. Clearly it's time to put these things on a table. But this LED shop light setup that I've got going here, these things seem to be doing really well. I've had to move them up once so far. I'll show you that in a second. Typical JT Bear style. And here we can see the original transplants and the new transplants. These all just came out of the seed tray AeroGarden, like I said yesterday, the day before. The Trinidad scorpion back here looked so big in the AeroGarden, looks so tiny down here, but such is life. Another one of the Caribbean reds there, and it's another one of the Trinidad scorpions. This one, I believe, is the one that was it came up as a second seed in the pod, so I transplanted it into the pod where it didn't sprout, and it's been real slow going for that thing, but hopefully, it can be inspired by some of its friends here. Most of those are lemon habs and Caribbean reds, and I'm very much okay with that. Say it along with me now, because you can never have too many habaneros. Although, this is getting borderline, so I may be learning I have a limit on that one. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, I have managed to fill up almost the entire functional area underneath these two shop lights. I got maybe room for 4 more plants under there, but not a whole lot of room. So I'm not going to be putting down too many more pepper seeds at this point. Although I may still try doing some cuttings from that Bad Brain pepper, because that thing is just massive. These plants are going through a fair bit of water. Every, I'd say 3 or 4 days, I'm filling them up to that bottom line. And I have been alternating one just regular water and then one with a little bit of the AeroGarden fertilizer in it. Seems to be working so far, but I was looking at some of them last time I watered, and there are some lighter patches on some of these leaves. Let's see if I can find a couple in there that look like maybe they might be having some deficiency issues, but I'm not going to be mucking about with it. I'm just sticking with, one water and then one slightly milder version of the AeroGarden. See, now that one there that you can see it's a little bit up from the rest. That is the second Bad Brains pepper. I moved it down from on top of the shelf. It's got a hair tie on it since I no longer need those. And seems to be doing okay under these lights. Like, it's not showing any major problems with transitioning from the LEDs in the AeroGarden to this one. In fact, I'd say it's doing better now that it's directly under a light. But it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but either way you look at it, these pepper starts are doing alright. So let's take a look at the AeroGardens themselves up on top of the black shelf. Looks a little bit chaotic, but that's kind of how it grows in my gardens. I'm going to trim back this basil a little bit more today, trim back this basil a bit today. So I've got one more week until I can compare the AeroGarden basil with the one that's been in the soil for, 5 gardens in the or 5 weeks in the AeroGarden and then 5 weeks in soil. But looking at them, I don't see too much of a difference. But I have noticed, plucking the occasional leaf from this versus from this, that the ones from the AeroGarden definitely seem to wilt faster. So I'm a little concerned for how lettuce would be coming out of this. I think it would be, you better eat it right away or it's going to be one heck of a wilty salad. Anyway, we know this is really all about the chilies. And let's beautiful. Let's look at this beautiful Bad Brains chili. It has forked on the top. And if you look carefully in there, you can see what looks like the beginnings of flower buds. So, what was suggested to me, and I tried to pin it to the top of, I believe it was last week's video, was that basically I do a harsh trim job on this and take off a lot of these larger leaves to a point where that side of the stem is exposed to the light. The theory being that that will help it grow, put on new growth, and that new growth will have peppers. So, this comes from a very trusted viewer, very reliable comments over the years, but at the same time I haven't quite jumped on that yet because this is so pretty. I kind of don't want to cut it. And when I do cut it, I kind of want to go down to the base and go, oh, that's a nice branch. You could be a whole new plant on your own, and you could be a whole new plant. And so, struggling with the rather atypical JT Bear indecision, really, on that. Let's look down on the seed tray, where I've got just some blank pods filling up spaces right now. Clearly I forgot to cut the bottoms off at these three. They need to be a little bit shorter, and I'm going to cover those, I think, probably just with tape. Again, as per suggestions. We do have another orange habanero just way at my fingertip there, kind of trying to come up. We got another one coming up here as well. But a lot of those seeds look like they had just been too abused at this point, and they're just not going to do it for me. That's fine. I mean, I've got plenty of red and yellows, and a couple of oranges will be nice, but, you know, old seeds, you know, it is what it is. These cuttings are looking so much better since I added some nutrients and gave them some time. I did transplant one of the cuttings the other day as well, and they've got beautiful roots. So I'll be doing more of that in the coming week, I'm sure. And this thing may even be darn near empty by the time you see it next week. Getting shaded out over there. Got to get them ready for soil June 1st. You can finally put them outside. Well, start hardening them up, I guess. Or hardening them off so I can put them outside. Oh, this thing is so beautiful. Yeah, I can't say that I have ever grown such an impressive looking pepper plant. That's awesome. I am truly excited to finally get the chance to try one of those Bad Brains peppers. Woof. And you know, there's going to be a video of that. Probably do it on a live stream, maybe join Revs, maybe do my own. Just going to have to see once there's something on there and it gets some color. So waiting is, but I mean, we're at week 9, and that was a seed 63 days ago. So I truly do believe that this plant will give me some pepper pods to try. So very exciting, very exciting. As compared to everything in the basement, which is very disappointing, very disappointing. But we'll hopefully check back on that on Sunday. And I think I'm going to wrap it up because ultimately I did kind of come up here to get some basil and some thyme for some amazing spaghetti sauce Shucks is working on downstairs. So thank you all for joining me. And yeah, I'll be back again probably on Sunday with a look at what's going on in the basement, and weather permitting, maybe even a little cleanup work outside. So the walking onions are showing signs of life out there, so need to clean them off so they can have a good productive year. Right on. Take care, everybody.